Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Just a Little Bit of Sugar for women who are tired of lying to themselves and they're finally ready to level up. We got a special episode today where I have my editor behind my book, Rhonda. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Man, Rhonda, you are so wonderful. You actually edited my book in 2 days, man. Just I didn't even think that was possible, but just I mean, you did just a great job. Just I mean, how was you able to do it so well in just only just 2 days?
Well, number one, it was so well written. You are a
Oh.
very educated man,
Mhm,
and it made sense. It flowed, and plus, it was so interesting. I really
mhm.
didn't want to stop reading, so I just kept going.
Oh man, Rhonda, you're making me blush a little bit. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, I was inspired to just make the book to help more women be able to fix their unhealthy habits and they can get the right kind of structure and they can just live their best life. And that's what inspired me to make the book. And also my mom, she was one of the main motivators behind me making the book.
Yeah, I mean, that came out. You were very motivated. You had plenty of passion in it. And boy, a good mama's behind a lot of successful sons.
Yes, totally, totally. So Rhonda, so let me know more about you. So how long have you been a writer?
All of my life, really. I've always
Oh,
loved
really?
I'm a writing teacher, so I don't get as much time to write myself,
Mhm.
but I'm involved in the process and it is really my passion.
Wow. Oh, I love that. I can tell. So I would say, so what's your favorite kind of books to write personally?
Uh, Nonfiction, real life experiences.
Oh, I like that. I love that too. Okay, okay. So nonfiction. Okay, so real life experiences about tasks such as what?
Well, the most recent writing I did was for a compilation of experiences by various writers who had lost a loved one.
Oh
So
my gosh, so that definitely touches home.
yeah. So, and I've written experiences that are comical from the mother, wife, preacher's wife, woman side of things. I
Hmm.
put all those in a newsletter I used to publish. So,
Oh
um,
wow, man, Ryder, I knew that there was something special about you. The preacher's wife. Wow, that's lovely. First lady is in the building. I love that. I love that. So also, so Ryder, so I ask you though. So tell me more about your background. So where did you originally grew up at?
in Indiana, northern Indiana,
Indiana?
yes, around the Fort Wayne area, but in rural areas. So from there, I went to Kentucky Christian University
Hmm.
in Grayson,
Hmm.
and that's where I met my husband. But I went to be a teacher.
Beautiful. I love that. Oh my gosh. Indiana. Yeah, I'm right here in Chicago. I'm in Maywood, Illinois. I've been to Indiana a few times, enough times. But wow, so that's lovely. So man, this okay. That's right. You're staying now where? What state are you in now?
We are in southern Ohio. We are just a couple of blocks from the Ohio River. So,
Okay, okay. Oh man, actually, I'm around. I've been to Ohio one time. One time I drove through there. One time I did. That was about maybe about 14, 15 years ago.
okay.
Yeah, it was different though. So wow. So okay. So I would say so. Running. So what's like some of the best things that you actually liked it about the book when you were just reading it and editing the book?
Well, it was conversational. I felt like you were talking directly to the reader as though we were across the table from each other, really, since
Hmm.
I was the reader. I had trouble focusing on the editing
Oh, really? Okay. So why is that?
because I was listening to you. You had so much to say that was
Thank.
applicable for women and health and all of those things, the
Hmm.
stress that women deal with, balancing being a professional with
Hmm.
taking time for ourselves to care for ourselves when we have so many demands on our lives.
Hmm.
But again, your book had all of the right ingredients because the chapters were focused. And I even liked how you did your paragraphs. They
Oh,
weren't
really?
big, chunky paragraphs because you have a lot of information. So when
Hmm.
you have that, you need to divide it up for the reader so that they can
Hmm.
digest what they're reading. So
Exactly.
I really felt like you did everything right.
Thank you, Ron. So yeah, because I want to make it easy so a person they could just listen and they could just go right into action without overthinking it. Because one of the things to be perfect is one of the main things that stops women from actually getting started. So them wanting to be perfect and wanting the right circumstances, that's the main reason why most people just put it off. And I want them to just hear what I'm saying, be motivated. That's beautiful, but I want them to be inspired to go and get started and do what's required.
Right. That message came out loud and clear.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because I want to just say I wanted women to see from a male perspective what I see from training thousands of women from my 12-year career. Because I realized that for the most part, most people had the same problems. Just that it would come down to them staying consistent, them finding a strong enough reason to want to do it, and then just having the right kind of program that's made just for them. So that's what I realized that for the most part no, most women had the same challenges. So just me just put everything together in one book, and it could just help more women be able to achieve their goals, have more energy, be able to give their family their best, and be able to have the best image possible that can help them in everything. It help them in their personal life, their business life, and then the person looks better, and the person's more fitter. They have more energy. They can get more things done. They look amazing in anything that they wear. And I noticed that a lot of times with the women, they have knee problems, lower back problems, hip problems. So a lot of times that comes from having weak glutes. So when you have stronger glutes, you have more control over your knee, and it just makes everything more easier for you. A lot of times, people have a problem with their balance. So if you have stronger glutes, you're gonna be able to have more better balance. So the glute medius, that's the part of the glutes that's basically the shelf part, and it basically controls the balance. So I wanted to go break that down and just put everything together all in one place for the women so they can be able to see and just get the kind of help that they actually need.
Yes, and that's what surprised me was that you're a man, but you really get our world. And
Yes.
um, that is something else that stood out about your book is that you have experience with it, you've lived it, you have the education, the health coach, the trainer, all of that. It
Hmm.
just you studied your craft, you
Hmm.
studied your subject, which is women, and
Hmm.
there wasn't one thing you said that I said, "Oh, come on."
Thank
You
you,
were
Rada.
spot on, you knew it, and we are much
Uh-huh.
better than you, but you get it. So that
Thank you,
just
Rada.
adds a lot of power to your book. I will use it. Of course, I have a copy, and I
Yeah.
will use it.
Yeah,
It will
Rada.
be
So
my handbook.
wonderful. Thank you so much. So just what you're saying, just yeah, that's I wanted women to understand that I totally get them. Even though I'm a man, I spend like a lot of time studying women and just I definitely understand what women are going through. So I want this to be like a self-help book that can help them with their fitness, their mindset, and have somebody to tell them the truth so that they can be able to wake up and be able to work toward getting results instead of just suffering when somebody just tell them what they want to hear. So I wanted to be stern but be honest, and then so they can just get results because a lot of times with people, especially the women, they're more caught up in feeling good. So versus actually hearing the truth and waking up and being able to work toward getting the results that they definitely desire.
Correct. Yes. We do need to hear the truth.
So exactly, because especially right now, 'cause it's so much out there, so much information out there where people are just telling women what they want to hear, and that it's not helping them. Now that we have people, the average woman in America is what 5'4", 160 pounds, and the average Black American woman is 5'4", 187 pounds. So I want to have the women to be at a healthy way to understand you can have an amazing shape and be at a healthy weight and be able to just be able to look your best and get your stomach flatter. And that's the main thing that most women say that they want. They want to have a flatter stomach. That's what most women say. So definitely that come down to a person's lifestyle. They come down to having your hormones balanced. They come down to getting enough movement. You getting enough sleep. And I know that with some of my clients, part of the problem was they're so stressed out at their job. They're drinking wine every night. Some of them are going through a bottle of wine every night just so that they can just get through their pain. So I wanted to go and give them some ways that they can just control those triggers without having to turn toward the bottle, and they could just work on just building up themselves and believe in themselves, and then just just living the best life possible and not waste the best years of their life being overweight and just not working on themselves.
Yeah, that came through in the book.
Hmm.
Plus, just your desire for women to enjoy their lives, not just and be their best, not just on the outside, but inside too, to find balance in all of it. And
Hmm.
uh, it's it's a lifestyle change, really, uh,
Exactly.
for the best, for the best.
Yeah, yeah, Ron, I totally agree. And the other thing that I love about the whole fitness, because when a person is more fitter, people give you more respect. A lot of times people won't say it to your face, but a lot of times they say, okay, wow, this woman, she has a certain amount of structure. She can stick to a routine. She's not eating in her feelings, and she can just, she can just, she can just be consistent. And then people think that, and then people have more respect for you, and life is easier. Life is easier when a person has discipline. But I put in a book that it's about having more healthier habits, and one of the easiest way to be able to get results is you have to have more of the habits of a person who's fit and healthy. So just most people probably they get more habits of a person who's overweight. So just having healthy habits, being able to master the art of being bored, so you can be able to be consistent and know what you're doing and keeping it simple. Just like in the book, I covered that most people problems if when they set goals, their goals are not specific. Their goals are so broad. They say somehow, well, I want to just feel healthy and look my best. That is not specific. That's nothing that can be measured. So something like, okay, I want to lose, in the first 4 months, I'm gonna lose, 20 to 30 pounds and flatten my stomach and tone my glutes. It gotta be something that's specific, that can be measurable. And that's one thing I realized that people need help with, being able and knowing how to set smart goals. It needs to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So that's one thing in the book that I wanted to cover. That it's just so simple that it goes over most people's head.
Yeah, and that enables the reader to get there, because a lot of us do struggle with just figuring out we want it, but how do we put it in action? And you cover that.
Yes, yes, because that's what I realized. Because I realized that being a trainer for 12 years, I realized the most important thing that women needed help with was somebody that can help them when they're stressed out, somebody that can help them when they're going through things at their job or things in their relationship, somebody that can just keep them on track. Because I realized that most of my clients, they will quit whenever they're stressed out over their relationship or at their job. So I realized that it took more than me being a trainer to help the person. So I realized that once I became a certified health coach, I specialize in behavior change, and I wanted to go and show that in the book and how by just having the healthy habits and then having that in order and being able to track that and just being able to just have a system in place. That's like the main key that most people are missing.
Mhm.
So yeah, it just has so much going on though. But yeah, but also Rhonda, I want to ask you though. So when it comes down to books, I would say what would you say is like the most difficult part about editing a book?
Difficult part, let's see. I think I wouldn't call it difficult, but
Mhm.
I would call it groundwork.
Oh, groundwork. Okay. Uh-huh.
And that is just getting to know the author. So I'll just
Oh,
read several chapters and get a feel for the style, the
oh, the style.
conversational tone, and the direction, um, and just get into the author's world. So,
Okay, so
so
that's a
that's
great point.
easy, but yeah, it's important. But I haven't really found any books that I've thought were hard. They've done their homework and they want it to be
Mhm.
polished, and so um, I can just take off running from there.
Okay, so Ron, okay, that's I love that. So is there like a certain amount of styles that basically that most authors have, maybe like 3 or 4 different styles, or is that even possible?
Yeah, I think there's some that have a very formal style. They
Uh,
want to present more like a handbook of, more of a
oh,
textbook type thing, where others are coaches like you. They're trying to just pull somebody along and head them in a direction. And then there are others who are just a little bit funny. They're
okay,
giving information, but they're entertaining us too while they go. So,
okay. Oh wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that, and it makes what you're saying. It makes total sense.
yeah, so I specialize in nonfiction, so those are the 3 most common I see.
Wow, okay, I didn't know that though. So I said, wow, so that's a great tip, man. Okay, and I would say, Rhonda, so to you, what would you say is the perfect amount of pages that a nonfiction book should be to get people to get it and not, overwhelm them?
Yeah, I would say between 200, 250, somewhere in there. I haven't had any longer than that. It
Hmm.
seems like authors can really develop their topic in that amount of time, those many
Hmm.
pages.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm looking at the book that we did. So I think it's about 220 pages. How much is it? Yeah, it's about what 238 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have two versions of the book. So I think I sent you both versions. So I have the standard version on Amazon, which is definitely is great, but it has regular paper, it has the regular ink. So this is the standard version I have, and it's also lighter because of the paper. It feels different. So this is the standard one that I have on Amazon, and this is the deluxe version that I have on the website. So this one is heavier, it has better paper, so the paper feels more comfortable on your finger. It feels you're just touching it. The paper feels more comfortable, and this is the version that is also in premium color. So I
Okay.
want to have a few different versions. So it definitely, just the person that wants to spend more and they definitely want the book to last longer and to be more comfortable reading. I want to give them a more upscale option that they can go and buy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Hmm. So definitely in the book. I'm just so glad that I wrote it, and I wrote it just a few months ago. I'm just so glad that I went and found you, and just everything just came together. Because definitely having a book, I would say, is the ultimate business card. It helps where you can just show your expertise and just be able to just help more people, and it's a great way to go and just show how you can just you can just show people how you can how about how you're an expert on this topic and how you can help people without them having to pay for your services?
Mm, okay. Yeah. Um, did you just ask me a question?
Oh, no, no, no! It's like I was just saying the whole thing about it. I noticed about having a book. So, Rhonda, are you planning on coming out with a book yourself?
Well, I have one. I just haven't had time to get it published.
Oh, okay. Wow,
But
okay.
I have more that I want to develop. But I'm working full time and I'm almost part time doing Upwork or,
Hmm.
my editing or wherever I work. I do it in different angles and, different ways. People send me things. Uh,
Hmm.
but anyway, one of these days I'll retire from teaching and then I'll get to
Hmm.
write more. So,
Okay, okay, yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. So, also, Rhonda, what are some words you would give to somebody who's a editor and they're looking, for the confidence to go out there and just take it more seriously and to get some higher work? What kind of advice would you give them on getting started?
getting started as an editor, I would say just find clients first of all. However you want to do that, there's so many ways you could do it. You could advertise on social media, or set up your own website, or go to a pre-established platform. And then I also would advise someone to think about what types of books they want to edit, or
Yes,
if
that's a great
not
point.
books, documents. It took me a
Mhm.
while to find my sweet spot. I tried fiction and I still do some fiction, but I found out I like nonfiction the best. So that's my advice. But I say, work on your craft too. Train yourself to know your stuff. I had
Mhm.
to go back and do a little homework myself. So I think
Mhm.
that you should go for it if you want to do it.
Exactly. Just find a way, especially like now because of technology, it makes it easier to go and just get started.
Yes, yes, it does. Very much
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, especially I was thinking about my first book that came out, let's see, about 7, 8 years ago, and it was different versus now. Cause now just I was able to use different tools to help me, and
Mhm.
I definitely love the way that we had it where I basically went and just wrote the book, and you just made corrections, and we used some type of app, and then basically I was able just to make corrections, and it was just great how now I was able to use technology to go and just edit the book, and it was just such a great way that we actually did it.
Yeah, I love that you chose to use Google Docs
Yes,
because
that's the word.
Yeah, we had conversations going in the comments, and it was in real time. It was fluid. It was always changing, adding. It really speeded up the process too, as opposed to just me working on a document that you didn't have access to.
Yes, yes, I loved it though. Just using, I would have never imagined that. Wow, you could just write a book and have an editor, and also use Google Docs, and she could just make corrections, and you could just correct it, and it was just so easy. Because
It
this book was about 200 some pages. My first book was about 40, 50 pages, and it was different back then.
yeah.
So yeah, so I definitely love the whole experience, and eventually I'm gonna just have like a whole new book that I want to have you to go and edit sometime next year. But we got some time. But it's definitely I want to just have the book to help me get more exposure, to get on more shows, and yeah, it's a great tool. So definitely I would recommend having Rhonda to edit your book.
Thank you so much.
No problem. So Rhonda, do you have any other different writing things that you do for people besides editing books?
Yes, I work in the education world too, since I am a teacher. I do book reviews, I do website
Oh,
evaluations,
nice.
I edit curriculum for textbooks and such too. So I'm a person who likes a lot of variety.
Oh, I
So,
can tell. Okay, okay, nice, nice. I would say so. Running so, what's your idea dream kind of book to edit?
oh, let's see. I guess I have a current author that I've done about 4 or 5 books for her.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Hers are romantic comedies, which is my favorite kind of movie. So,
Oh, really?
really settle into her book with popcorn and my
Mhm.
mouse, and I get entertained while I'm working. So she has me laughing out loud and crying sometimes from just the humor in her book. So I guess that's my dream book. But
Mm,
like I said, I like variety, so I'm perfectly fine going from that to a nonfiction. My favorite part of it all is I learn so much from
nice.
other
Okay.
authors, their styles, their information. Everything I do enriches my life, and that is something you can't put a price tag on. It's a fringe benefit of
Okay.
editing.
Okay. I love that though. So also, what's your favorite kind of movie?
Uh, really, those romantic comedies, but adventure too. So
Okay.
It I'm not really very picky. I like a lot of genres. I've taught school for over 30 years, so
Mhm.
we've read a lot of different genres at school. I can do children's movies. I can do adult movies. But I don't like scary. That's the one thing I don't like.
Yeah, yeah, me too. For the most part, feel like life is scary enough.
True.
Yes, and also, Rhonda, you have like a favorite font that you actually love to see the book be under fonts.
The rule of thumb in the education world is Times New Roman 12, but
Mhm.
I'm not stuck on that with books. I think anything close to that is easy. The letters don't look strange. Anything like that is fine. A lot of people like Arial. Uh, I have seen a lot of different fonts, especially I also work in Adobe Acrobat. So there's some fonts in there that other books don't have.
Mhm.
I can't really recommend one. I think it's just as long as it's clear print that people don't have to struggle to read.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, okay, I get that though. And also, Rhonda, so overall, do you actually prefer to edit a book with self publishers or just somebody that actually has a publisher?
I don't mind either way. I've done both too, and there's benefits to both. I don't see a difference in the quality. I
Okay.
think there are wonderful self-published authors as well as ones from publishing companies.
Okay, okay, so that makes sense though. So, Rhonda, where do you see the business going in the next few years about you being a editor?
Well, there was a lot of talk about AI and how it's going to replace us all.
Mhm.
And that lasted a short while. And then I saw authors asking for humans to edit their book.
Mhm.
No AI. And that seems to be the rule of thumb now, not totally, but I think they're seeing that it just takes a person with a set of eyes to
Mm-hmm.
and to comprehend what they're saying. It's not just about punctuation, capitalization, spelling. It's about content, and does it
Mm-hmm.
read and flow well. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of developmental editing as well. When
Mm-hmm.
I read a sentence and say, you know what, that sounds a little backwards. Let's turn it around. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so that's really the human element that they found is missing. Now, I believe AI will improve, but I don't think it can ever match the human brain.
Mm-hmm. Man, Rhonda, I totally agree. And even myself, I actually use AI to help me with the book, but there's still, it still is not the same as actually having somebody to go over the book. And even in still, they basically always recommend to have a person editor to go and edit the book because AI can do some things well, but it can't do everything well. So
Mhm.
so AI can't write you a book anyway. So it can just help you with the process. The AI is like a great tool to help you write a book. So, but it's not, just it's not the same. So you definitely need an editor.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, 'cause I think about even how it is with personal training. I think about how this one lady before that I actually I met her in the neighborhood and I met her at Office Depot, and I was telling her about how she can use AI to help her with different tasks for her business, and she wound up using AI. And I ran into her a few weeks later at Chipotle, and she told me that she actually she had AI to make her a workout, and even though AI made her a workout, I still found things that was wrong with the workout that AI made for her. One thing that was wrong was AI when it had her to do her stomach exercises in the middle of a workout, which is actually dangerous because then if you're doing your exercises to work your stomach in the middle, your center of gravity is being weak and it can lead to you actually pulling something or hurting yourself. So you need to have that core strong when you're doing those stronger or heavier lifts like deadlifts or squats. So just me just being able to see what AI did, AI can make you a workout, but it can't make sure that you do it, or it still is not as good as having a health professional. So it's the same thing as also having a editor. So AI can just help you with the process, but it's not as good as just fine tuning it and making sure that it has that human touch, so things can flow well.
Yes, wonderful point.
Yeah, yeah, and even now, like how they have different tools that you can use too to go and check the different things about the book, where you can check the spelling, you can just check if it's copyrighted. So those tools do definitely help. So definitely, using AI is definitely a plus, and it can help you with the process. But you want to always still have somebody who's an expert to just fine tune everything. 'Cause otherwise, then you can come out with a book, and then like how this is copyrighted, and then you can get in big trouble.
Yes, very true.
So yeah, but I definitely love AI, but this I say still is not the same. You're gonna always need editors, you're gonna always need coaches, people who specialize in this craft. So that's gonna always be around. But AI just it's about just working with it and not just just staying in the old ways of doing things.
Hmm. That's right.
Yeah, because even like now, they have different tools that I was using. They got tools where now, back in the day, when I wrote my first book, what I did first, I went and just wrote everything out in an actual notebook. But this time, what I did was they have different tools you can use, like what do you call it, with Google, where you can just speak everything and it'll type it for you, and just yeah, it's just so many tools you can use now. It makes it so much more faster. I think that if it wasn't for me using these tools, I wouldn't have had the patience to write a 240-page book. I wouldn't.
Right. Well, hats off to you for working
Mhm.
smart.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, because I was open to it and thinking, and I definitely loved it. And yeah, just otherwise, yeah, just it's definitely writing a book is a very uh long process, but this AI can just make it more easier and it can just structure it for you. And I say that it's a great tool to help you come up with different titles and just to give you a nice little outline, and then you can just write everything out from the outline. So it's a great tool for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's time for the exercise of the day. So we're gonna have an exercise of the day that we're gonna talk about. Let me go pull one up. When I put it, let's see then. Okay, hold on. This that media. Okay, here it is. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna work on the floor bridge. So this is the bridge, and then we're gonna also, I'm also using it with the level 2 glute band. So this is really good for working the glute medius, and it's really good for strengthening the lower back. So just you're just on your back, and you're just squeezing your glutes at the bottom. As soon as you get to the top, and you're going to pulsate and go in and out. So this is really good to work the glutes, and it's something that's simple. So the bands helps you strengthen your whole body. A lot of times, if you're having knee problems or you're having your glutes to get stronger, it'll help you to not have as much knee problems, or it'll help you get rid of your knee problems. Period. So once again, and that's the bridge. So a hip thrust is when you're actually being elevated, like you're on a bench. You have your upper back on the bench. Now I'm gonna show you all also the do I have it here? Well, actually, I don't have it right here though. But this, I'm gonna give you an example. So I'm the hip thrust is when you're doing it when like how you have your back. I would say like how the broad step area that's going to be on the bench, and then you're going down, and then you're coming up. So that's the difference between a hip thrust and a glute bridge. That's the exercise for today. So you can get your bands from SolomonFitnessWorld.com, or you can click it on the screen. So yes, so man, so Ron, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and giving us that, that background about how you went and helped me with the book. And I'm just so grateful. And Rhonda, let everybody know how they can reach you so you can help them.
Okay, well, you can email me. My email is Rhonda with no H underscore W at rocketmail.com. I also have a platform on Upwork, and my name on there, they don't let you put your last name, but it's just my first name, Rhonda, and my last initial W. And I think it says my location, which is Ironton, Ohio, on there. So um, either way is great for me. I'd love to help you out and elevate your book.
Perfect, perfect, y'all. So definitely, Rhonda, she's definitely worth this. So I'm just so thankful that I had her to edit my book. So it's definitely worth every single penny. So, all right, y'all. So I want to thank you all for watching the show. And if you all are willing to finally be able to get your health in order, you can go and fill out my application, and we'll see if my coaching program is a good fit for you. And remember, God wants you healthy and fit. The devil wants you to procrastinate and put off and make excuses.